Hello and welcome to another episode of Race Talk F1 with your boy JayKnox.
And your boy Javier, aka One Hav.
Hey, listen, we thought we would record today. Here we are in Playbox at Box Park, where some people came to watch the race, and as it's bank holiday weekend, bit busier than usual. So you'll probably see or hear some other people around us, because this is the atmosphere in which some of you guys took in the race, watching it here live. Did you watch it live?
I watched it live, yeah. Comfort of the sofa though.
Yeah,
this
good
time.
for you, man. Good for you, man.
What about you?
Me, I was day drinking in Plymouth.
Nice, that's different.
In the harbour before DJing Revolutions in Plymouth. So it was an absolute, crazy weekend for me. So bank holiday weekend catching up is how I watched it, watching it back. You know,
Nice. It's what we like to hear though, making the most of the bank holiday, innit?
But I've been taking it in, obviously trying to keep track. I'm in the WhatsApp groups and seeing what's going on, from practice to qualifying to the race. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. It was a very interesting one this weekend.
I mean, we'll start with practice. Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's nice
Jeddah.
and hot.
It's hot.
So practice was interesting. Not too many surprises apart from McLaren, I guess, being a second quicker than everyone else.
Surprised by that, you?
Not surprised.
It's not a surprise.
Not surprised. Not anymore. If you go by what Lando says every week, then you might be surprised.
Yeah.
Considering he says they haven't got the fastest car.
Lando says, you know what I love about Lando, yeah? Lando's just, he says how he feels. Like, it's not facts necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you lot got the fastest car in it.
Yeah.
But he feels like he's not in control, or he feels like this. At least you get from Lando exactly how he feels.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's true. That's true.
He's very genuine.
Yeah. So that's all really that was in practice. I think everyone else sort of in the interviews after practice were, McLaren's going to run away with it. They're a second ahead. Don't know what we're going to do.
A bit of bad luck for Bortoletto. He had a fuel leak. He missed the practice session, which I feel for him on this, because as a rookie, it's like you must be trying to rack up them hours, like in a Formula One car. To lose a practice session's pretty major.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Because even, say for example, this might be a very stupid comparison, right? But when I've played F1 24, right, on my PlayStation, if I do, call it 3 laps on a track, for the first time ever, I don't even think I complete the lap. Like, I'm going in the gravel, I'm crashing into walls. That's just 3 laps, right, on a game. So imagine only driving around that track in a simulator, then doing it in a 200 miles per hour machine. Like, you're missing a practice. That's a lot of experience that you're missing out on when it comes to race day.
On a track that is, I think this is like the fastest street circuit in it. Average of 155 mile an hour. Average.
Insane.
Average.
Don't even think I've driven at that in my life.
It's insane. Yeah. 27 turns. I'm not saying nothing. 27 turns. It's mad.
It is mad.
It's mad. So the practice is important. Yuki Tsunoda, he crashed out in FP2 as well. So like little struggles, man, little struggles. But I was thinking, nah, it's going to be cool for the race. It wasn't, but we'll get to that. Qualifying. Yeah. Did you watch qualifying?
Qualifying. I watched the replays of qualifying.
All right, cool, fair.
And I'm kind of gutted that I didn't watch qualifying live.
Yeah.
Because normally I find it a bit boring, but watching it back, I was like, whoa, this was a good qualifying session. I think I want to start at the bottom, I think, just to call out that Lance Stroll went out at 16th.
Yeah, boy. There was a point where I thought he was going to out-qualify Lewis.
Yeah.
No.
And have faith in your boy, man.
It's true,
so
man.
Just some stats I want to reel off about Stroll, right?
Oh, here we go. He's broken some records this week.
He broke a record. He broke a record this week.
Go on.
So he now holds the record for the most Q1 exits in Formula One ever.
Oh, this is like Everton in football. Like lowest points ever. You know them things that you don't want, those records that you don't want.
Yeah. So that's him. He's been in Formula One for 9 years, 171 races. And he's reached Q3 40 times out of the 171. His average race position has been 11th, and his average qualifying is 14th. over
Do you
his
know
career.
what? This make him sound quite good, to be honest.
It's not bad, innit? And I think people also forget, and this one got me. He's had 3 podiums in his career.
Wow.
Like, to say you've been on a podium as an F1 driver in a not top car.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's not that bad, innit?
It's true.
So,
you know what? Yeah, and when you reel off stats like that, I guess we understand why because he gets a lot of stick from a lot of people. I don't know who.
not this pod.
Not on here. He gets a lot of stick from people, but when you look at stats like that, and this is a results game, innit? It's all about the results. It's about the points. It's about where you finish. So do you know what? When you put it like that, fair play to him, man.
Fair play. But then his average race is 11th, so he is out the point. So
he's an average, he's an average non-scorer.
But it's not the worst. It's not the worst.
No,
I think
it's
you've
not.
got to cut him some slack, right? And you've been in F1 for a long amount, like 9 years ain't a joke, right? Like if you make it 9 years, you're a good driver. Like you've made it 9 years.
Either that or you've got some mad connections. Like, he's got some mad connections, isn't he?
Maybe a bit of both, innit?
No, for real. But the thing is, right? The thing is, here's the question for me. There's been some talk of changes in that team. There's been some talk of a Saudi team actually, or like Saudi owners like trying to buy Aston Martin.
Yeah.
My question is, if they come in for Aston Martin, because you know we laughing and joking a little bit about it. Let's be real. Lance Stroll, he is a good driver. We've seen some amazing things, especially at the beginning of this season. But his dad obviously is the owner of this team. But would the owners changing make a difference?
He'll be gone yesterday.
Do you reckon?
Gone yesterday. Even just on the pure fact of they would just want to change up and a shake up, something new to market. So many factors to it, right?
That's Max Verstappen that's had the offer that's rumoured to have been offered
200 mil,
260 odd million for. Is it? I think it's for 3 years.
Stupid money.
It's over 3 years.
Stupid money.
Stupid. Is it stupid money even for Max? Here he goes.
No, when you put it like that.
Nah, man, because it's a lot of money, but at the same time, you're getting like probably the most successful person in Formula One in the last few years. So when you put it like that, it doesn't seem like it so much. But then what's the pairing? Would you have him alongside Alonso?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Or would you keep Lance Stroll with a bit more youth than Alonso and a slightly longer, maybe future career?
No, pair him with Alonso, get the experience, build the best car there is, and
Max
then they've
has
got
the
5 years of dominance.
You don't need Alonso. You've got Max at this point.
They're going to get a rookie, a Saudi rookie from somewhere and throw him in there.
All right, cool. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. So yeah, Stroll, like I said, I thought he was going to knock Lewis out. He didn't. And he was out. And it was almost a bit mad because there was a yellow flag at the end of Q1 with Bortoleto having a bit of a spin. Bortoleto had a bit of he's really rookieing still.
Yeah, he is. Just a little bit. Him and his manager, but we'll get onto that later.
Hey, listen. He is really, really rookieing. Max often seems to hold something back in qualifying. I feel like the recent events of Max like not having a guaranteed top position, I feel like he's not holding anything back right now. He's fully going for it.
Yeah.
He was fastest in Q1.
Yeah, I mean, Max just doing Max things.
Max things, I think, is holding back. Max things is playing games, isn't it? Like, not letting everyone know what he's got. But
I think he needed to make a statement, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, with everything that's been going on, all the talk, everything with how the car's broken and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He had to make a statement. And I think to put people on their seats and get other drivers on edge. You come out, put in a Q1 performance after McLaren's dominated the whole of practice.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do.
It felt like that. Felt like Max is trying to let him know. Q2, Max got in an early lap as well. Like it seems like he's not taking any risks at the moment.
No, yeah, he just wants to make sure, because we've seen, right, in some other cases where drivers come out late, there's a red flag or just unfavorable conditions, and then you end up out. And there was something interesting as well that Alex Albon said. So he qualified in 11th. And when he went out, there was something interesting he said. He said that around this track, he wished that he got put out with the other drivers when they were doing their quali laps.
Really?
So he said that there's like a wind that goes around the track when the other drivers are driving, and it kind of propels the car like forward when they're driving. And it's like something I've never thought of, I've never heard of before. And I was like, that's a mad insight to get to hear from a driver. And that's the small window and the small timings that we're dealing with in F1, right? Like when you think about it, everyone qualifies within a second of each other in Q3, right? I mean, typically, but
I think it got even closer at one point.
It did get closer at one point.
A thousandth of a second. And you know what was interesting in Q3? So Max has qualified 1,000th of a second faster than Oscar Piastri, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they knew there was still a bit more in the car, and it's like they also knew that the others might get a little bit more out as well.
Yeah.
So he came in. I never really see this. Come in and done a pit stop in qualifying.
Yeah.
It was a quick pit stop and back out again, because more time it's like they pull over. I just remember when I first started watching Formula One, it's like they'd pull over, they'd get backed into the garage, and then they'd pull this TV on top of the steering wheel, and they'd watch the other drivers going around. Obviously, the text changed a little bit more now, and there's screens everywhere. But that's what my memory of qualifying. And obviously, like I said, they still did it. But it was in, new tires, straight back out, and he needed to have done that.
He did, because Oscar pipped him when he had the number one lap, and then Max 1,000th of a second and smashed it.
And Russell as well. Russell came was mad in the mix, which shows like the improvement of the Mercedes this season. And it makes me wonder what happens if Lewis had stayed at Mercedes.
Well, we'll get into that in the race, right? And I'll ask you if he's regretting his decision bit later on.
So qualifying, Max ended up 100th of a second.
Yeah.
A bit more of a margin, 100th of a second.
Still mad. Like the time split was Max was 27.294 and Oscar was 27.304.
Yeah, it's
like
mad.
You can't even fathom that time split difference. Like, it's mad.
Yeah, when you watch the simulation of the two cars going around, it's interesting. Like you almost want a combination of the two drivers, and then you might get like a half second quicker or something like that, because you can see where the different drivers' strengths are. But one thing that was unquestionable is that Oscar's got it. Oscar's got this racing ability.
He's the man.
He's I think I said right at the beginning of the season, like I see him like in the McLaren being the fastest of the two McLaren drivers, and he's showing it, man. He's showing it because in the meantime we've said Lando's got a mistake in him, and he made a mistake and he was punished and ended up P10
in Q3. Span the car straight out.
Well, lucky it was Q3.
Very lucky.
And not one of the others. But this is what this track is, bro. Like, I was watching practice, and I was thinking, I almost don't like this track because it feels a bit unfair. The way it's unforgiving, it just feels like it's a little bit unfair. There's things that can happen in a race that mean that you just go off track for a second or something like this. And in this, you don't go on into a run. I think there's like 1 or 2 runoff areas. Apart from that, it's wall.
Yeah.
Concrete wall.
This is why they paid 250 mil though, right?
I'd say less. Onto the race.
You gotta do it, man. You just gotta do it.
Onto the race, man. So Oscar starting on the front row with Max. We know that Max is a good starter. Like he does this starting thing really, really well. He's observant. He was reporting man like Lando last race for being outside of his box. Like little things. Yeah. He's ready at the start of a race. What did you expect to happen at the beginning of this race?
Boom.
You thought there was going to be a crash?
I thought boom. Yeah, I just thought, Max is going to do Max stuff.
I thought Max would just get away cleanly. I thought Oscar would give him a bit of a run, but I thought Max would get away cleanly.
See, I thought because of previous from last year, and obviously Oscar, there was a mix-up with Oscar and Max, right, last year. But I think Max spun him out on one of the corners, and Oscar was a bit vexed about that. And I think with Oscar kind of showing this year that he's trying to be head of McLaren, he wants to be the man, and he is displaying those qualities, I thought he might try and give Max a taste of his own medicine here, on
you
turn
saw
1.
that.
So I thought Oscar might go into Max rather than Max going into Oscar.
So now this is the thing, right? Now the turn 1, it was tight. Like I think Oscar just got off to a better start, And I think he's picked Max to that corner. Max is doing Max things, which is refusing to be beaten, so he goes off track.
Return of the Max.
What happens if there's a wall there, though, bruv? Max might. We would have seen a crash. We would have seen a crash.
We would have. But Max don't care. But he's here for that.
So now penalty, which I thought was right. I actually thought Max got away with one here by getting a 5-second penalty and not a 10-second penalty.
Do you know what I don't understand though?
Go on.
So from a Red Bull perspective and from a Horner perspective and the racing, whoever makes the actual decision of should we swap back the places, right?
Yeah.
From a Red Bull head, they already think we get mistreated. The FIA treat us differently. They treat Max differently. So you knowing that, would you not just tell Max to give the place back?
Yeah. Because then you just don't want them to be. You don't want the stewards involved. I wouldn't want the stewards involved.
Yeah.
Like from a Red Bull perspective.
Exactly.
But do you think Max listens?
If they told Max to give the place back, he would give it back.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Bruv, Max ain't giving that place back. Max ain't giving that place back. Like he's. Do you think that he? I reckon they just know Max so well. There's no point even saying it to him.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to annoy him. And he's going to be fuming, and afterwards he's going to be like, "Why are you telling me to do that?" I think that's I think that's the real reason.
Do you think him and the team had enough time to make the correct decision?
Yeah.
Considering the safety car came out before the end of lap 1.
Yeah, they could have just said immediately. Like anybody watching that race knew what had happened. We all knew what Max done, why he done it, but we just knew. Like you just don't want it. You don't want him, and you don't want any involvement, and you know what it is.
Yeah.
So you could have just told him.
Yeah.
You could have.
But do you think there's a risk of if they'd done it really early on that another car might nab him on one of the first corners potentially?
No, I don't think so. I just think that there is the chance that. The only chance that you're almost taking is that Oscar went beyond track limits as well. Then it's just like cancelled out.
Yeah.
And I think there's a smart element to what Max done here, because if that happened, then it would just be like that track position's king, innit?
Yeah.
Like we've said this enough times. Track position is king. So that's what it is. And to be fair, like it could have worked, but do you know what? Max got beaten in this race, like fair and square. I thought what was amazing was the McLaren strategy choices.
Yeah. Starting off Lando on the hard, genius move by them, I think. Obviously risky considering everyone around you is doing something else. So fair play to McLaren. Feel like they're coming a long way with their strategies as well, right? Like they're developing as a team.
They couldn't have done any worse than they did previously. Like we had this conversation, and I think last season that was probably their biggest problem, because they had a good car. They should have done better last season overall, I think. And I think the strategy choices were a large part of that, but not to be beaten this year.
Yeah, no, and it was good. And I think the fact that Oscar again showing championship pedigree, he just bided his time. Knowing Max had the 5-second penalty, he didn't take no risks, stayed a couple of seconds within Max. McLaren pitted at the exact right time.
Didn't they?
Brought him out at front, and he's won the race.
And I think Red Bull also, like they were holding out. You know what you don't want when you're Max is to come out of the pits behind Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's just not what you want, innit? Like, man, I'm not even racing you today like that, but like it's just long.
Lewis said, "I'm leaving here for something."
I'm from around the way.
Wait, Lewis messed up Max's race. He messed up Norris's race.
Lando was upset. But hey, that was quality though.
Quality driving from Lewis. It just shows like he's still got something, right? Lewis has still got something. But did that show a bit of Lando's driving immaturity?
Yes.
You reckon?
And this is where, like, to be a race winner and a championship winner, like, and a multiple championship winner, it's beyond just driving. Like, when Max has gone off and taken track position, he's not stupid. He knows that there is a chance that if Oscar did something wrong, that Oscar could get penalized, and he's got the track position. It's Max being Max, but it's also Max being kind of smart as well. There is a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah.
And in the same position, Lewis has had to drive not just with his eyes and his physicality, with his head. He's hold on a second. If I let you go here, man will get DRS. And he did it to him twice. Like Lando had to pass him 3 times, bruv.
Yeah.
That's wild.
The bit that made me laugh is Lando had no idea what was going on, you know?
Bro, and that's the scary part. That's the scary part. He's got the ability as a driver.
Yeah.
But
up there.
It's got to, you need a bit more, bruv.
Because the engineer had to tell him, Lando, Strat 8, play the game.
Bro, hey, his engineer must have been, but you know what? Your job as a race engineer is to tell man right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you know who you're working with. You know Lando doesn't think like that, at least not at the moment. So you got to think like that for him. And I think this is maybe where McLaren, the last bit of McLaren's strategic kind of expertise has got to come on a little bit. You got to tell Lando that. Because he's not going to pick it up for himself. You don't have to tell Lewis that because Lewis just knows it. And that's where I think McLaren still got a little bit of a way to go.
Yeah, agree.
Man, Lando.
So what did you make of Tsunoda and Gasly's crash at the start of the race then, which obviously brought the safety car out?
Man, do you know what? This is a long start to Red Bull for Yuki Tsunoda. I felt like, you know what it was? It was just lap one.
Yeah,
that's just what it was. It was just lap
Racing
one.
Incident, right?
Like, I don't really know if Yuki was where he was meant to be. I mean, he was going back for the race, and it's like I've watched it a few times, and it just is what it is. It's just lap one, but it's also, would Yuki have maybe been a bit better at avoiding it if he was like years into the car? You know, we saw an incident where Alonso avoided Bortoleto.
That was nuts.
Like a G.
That was nuts. Bortoleto was moving like a Sunday driver in London, bro. That was crazy. He just
no indication.
moving like a BMW driver.
I knew that was coming still, safe.
He just pulled out in front of him in the braking zone, right? And if Alonso weren't switched on, and for, what is he, 42 now?
Years old.
He's getting there, right? For whatever age he is now, 40, whatever, his reaction time's still quick.
Yeah, he's got it.
Because that would have been a bad crash.
Yeah, it would have been bad. He kept them both in the race.
He did, yeah.
He kept them both in the race. And then I understood there's more to it. There's more on the line here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mate, this is his journey back home.
I did not realize Alonso was on his management team.
Yeah, neither did I.
It got me wondering, right, if Bortoleto didn't get a seat this year, does Alonso give up his seat and say, you know what, put him in there?
Nah, man.
Aston Martin would never have Bortoleto and Stroll.
World, man. Oh, my days. Don't even get me started. The team would be having night sweats, bro, about thinking about that.
I mean, it would be crazy.
So if they did crash, right? If they did crash, and you're Alonso, right? You've been taken out the race. Now your car's damaged, everything. Are you giving him a lift back home in your private jet, or are you telling him you better buy a commercial flight?
No, bro, you're flying economy. I'll book the ticket. I'm making sure you go economy, bro. No, that's mad.
This is one of the crazy things I find about like sports and F1, right? And the whole, drivers being friends. It's such a techie balance of how do you separate what happens on track to like off field.
I don't think you can.
If someone's like almost taken because F1's a dangerous sport, right? Someone's almost killed you, and now you got to fly back on your private jet and share champagne with them.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think so. I mean, because I thought this because Yuki and Pierre Gasly they get on.
Yeah.
Crash. I don't think you can separate it. This is where we've had it. We've had it with Lewis, with Lando and Max. We've had it with a few drivers, but it gets to a point. Even I think it was with Frank Vasseur signing Lewis Hamilton. Frank and Toto are friends. Yeah. And Frank made a comment in Drive to Survive, which is basically that work is more important than friendship, which goes against every single one of my real life principles. But that's what Formula One is like. I don't know if I could be in that world,
Yeah.
Goes, I love it, I enjoy it, but
insane.
It gets to this point where if that's what it takes to win, that to throw your friends under the bus, it's I don't know if it's a sport for me,
I
bro.
hear it, bro. You're too much of a nice guy.
Too much, bro. No, I just like my friends too much, man. It's mad. But some people are like that. And some people should be in Formula One because they snake their friends on a normal Tuesday, you know what I'm saying?
Let us know if that's you, innit?
Yeah, so crazy, man. But yeah, pit stops were absolutely on point. Even though I did think that the Piastri pit stop was a bit on the slow side.
So was it like 3.5 seconds, I think?
Yeah, and the Red Bull pit stop was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's substantial difference.
McLaren had the 5-second penalty to play with, right? So maybe they just thought in their heads, better safe than sorry. Let's just make sure we do it properly.
Maybe.
He's going to come out ahead regardless.
Yeah.
And they know they're fast enough and the track's difficult enough that Max ain't going to overtake him.
No, fair play. So Lewis was pretty much driving his own race. Let's talk about Charles Leclerc because he seemed to drive a brilliant race. We didn't see much of him on Teddy because there wasn't much to show. He was almost driving his own race, but it did seem like he was gaining at the end. I mean, there was talk about, is Lando going to catch him? Lando was never going to catch him.
No.
And he seemed just like, another few laps and he was just managing them tires really, really well. He was going for it. And he ended up for the first time this season on the podium.
You take away Charles' bad luck gene, and he's an amazing driver.
Yeah.
He's capable of getting podiums. He's a race winner. He's a great driver. And he's in tune with the Ferrari. That's his car. It's his brand. He's Mr. Ferrari. I think it's a big statement to say, yeah, remember I'm here, guys. Like, I am the number one driver,
Yeah.
Like, I've been here for years. You got rid of Carlos last year, not me. Remember me.
Yeah.
And he drove well, and he was only 8 seconds off Max, which ain't that bad, considering how the race turned out and the events. And he's proven that maybe the Ferrari's actually better than what everyone thinks it is.
Maybe it is. So maybe it's still a matter of Lewis. Maybe this is a Lewis and Ferrari getting on thing. Like, I heard some comments, like somebody was saying pretty recently that the hardest thing to do is relearn things. Like they were saying, the relearning how to drive a car is so much harder than learning from scratch. If you've never driven a Formula One car at all, it's hard. But if you are 10 years of driving a different piece of machinery, this is a pretty major change for Lewis, even more than people are thinking. So maybe there's a bit of that in it still.
It is, but when you're getting paid, how much are you getting paid? 50 million or whatever, and
doesn't
shares.
Matter, though.
Do you have to be better? Because then you look at someone like Kimi as a rookie, right? That's coming to Mercedes.
Wow.
And instantly, he looks like he's been in that car for years. He's not that far behind George, and he just looks at one with the car.
He does.
So if someone like him can do it, should Lewis not just be able to go Ferrari and be quick?
But again, he's been waiting in the wings in Ferrari, in Mercedes for a while. Lewis, another reason why I said last season, Lewis should have been on garden leave. Like, it's almost like I wish he was just out of Formula One last season and sat in the Ferrari garage. Like, I wish he was just in there. I think it's a big ask for anybody. I really, really do. And we're not asking him to drive the car well. He's driving and picking up points.
He is, yeah.
We're asking him to be like top tier. And let's remember, to be finishing 7th, 8th, qualifying consistently 6th, 7th, 8th, that 9th, that sort of, top 10, we're still saying is within a second of whoever's at the top, whether it's Lando, Oscar, or Max. I think something clicked with Lewis about race 12.
Okay.
Maybe after the summer break even. And I think that we're going to see something significant. And I think that's when Ferrari start really jumping up the constructors table. I think they'll do bits. I do think they'll do bits, but I think it's going to be a second half of the season thing.
He continuously keeps showing flashes of brilliance, like the bit with Lando, right? So he has it in him.
Has it?
He won the sprint race earlier on in the year.
Yep.
He has it in him.
Yep.
So maybe you're right, and it is just a matter of time. And when it clicks, it's going to click.
Yeah, and I really hope it clicks. And I think you'll see the two Ferraris, because I think him and Charles, I think, you know what? See the teamwork thing, yeah? Like, Charles got a good kind of, he's got something really good about him. And I think this is what you see. I don't think it's any coincidence that we're talking about it with Charles and Lewis. I'm going to talk about it with... we've seen some good bits with Lando and Oscar, swapping places and stuff like that. You don't see this at Red Bull. You don't see this with Max and Sergio. You didn't see it with Sergio. You're not seeing any mad cohesion. Okay, cool. Yuki's got to keep up.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like it's coming with Max and Yuki. The perfect piece of teamwork I saw this weekend?
Go on.
Carlos Sainz towing his teammate at Williams.
Yeah, it was great.
This was lovely to see.
It was lovely. And I almost felt sorry for Isaac because he was driving a great race. And obviously he was chasing both of them down. And he just had nowhere to go once they started working together.
It's crazy what can be done with teamwork.
A team order came in, right? And they said, oh, Sainz, help Alex out, please. Just keep him in your DRS.
Just keep him, just within a second. Sainz is like, cool. And you know what? 2 Williams in the top 10, 2 Williams in the points. Beautiful to see. And I feel like that they achieved what they set out to do.
Yeah, they did. I think they must be our favourite underdog, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. I think I said this right at the beginning. Even at the end of last season, I said, I feel like Williams are coming. And you know what? My favourite team principal, I think. James Vowles, this guy should be a politician. Like, he's just so articulate, like off the cuff, diplomatic. Like, he's a likeable guy. And I think testament to that, right, is when my man at Kick Sauber, went to sign Carlos Sainz, and he's a man that always gets his way.
Yeah.
And then James Vowles still came out on top just by being incredibly genuine. You know what I mean? I think I really, really, really am like, come on, man, Williams.
Yeah. So what about the teamwork at Kick Sauber? Always qualifying poorly together.
I was like, where you going with this? Oh, man.
They qualified Nico and Gabriel 18th and 20th.
Yeah.
And then obviously finishing the race, Bortoletto finished in 18th, Nico in 15th. It's not a great season for them, is it?
Like, it was never going to be. And look, I think if they get a few points this season, it's job done. But you know what? It just is what it is. Sometimes I look at these teams, I'm like, how are you here?
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. But hopefully Bortoletto gets some good experience over this season. I don't believe Alonso would be managing him if he didn't see some absolute brilliance in him, and maybe he's destined for great things in the future. But for me right now, top rookies are Hadjar and Antonelli. Who are you putting above? Who you putting on top out of the two of those two?
It's such a tough one because I want to say Kimi, but Isaac's car ain't as good as Mercedes. So I'm like, if I put Isaac in the Mercedes, does he do just as good of a job?
Kimi also reckons Alonso's a rookie as well, so that makes you.
Alonso's been terrible this year as well, mate. So he's out of it. He's my favourite driver, but he's out of it. So
I hear it.
I'm upset.
Man, Isaac Hadjar's got a lot going on.
He's the man.
Liam Lawson, right, versus Hadjar. Like, I feel like obviously Liam's got a lot to prove. He came above him. Like, I think this was even in qualifying, like Q1, even like it was like 14th, 15th.
Yeah.
I think at the end of qualifying, he was above Hadjar, wasn't he?
12th. Liam qualified 12th, Isaac 14th.
Yeah, but Isaac's really the guy though.
Isaac don't mess around, man. After race 1, whatever Lewis's dad said to him, just changed something in his psyche, and he's just now an animal. Yeah, he is. He's like an actual animal. Like Beast. On that racetrack, he don't mess around, man.
Yeah, we like to see
in the race.
We like to see it, man. Go on, Hadjar. We mentioned Stroll a little bit earlier. Stroll made an appearance again as a back marker to Oscar. Oscar was getting a bit frustrated. Do you think, like, what I noticed, right, is the tone in Oscar's voice when Max passed him off track at the beginning? It was just like, knew he was going to do it, sending this message just so that you all can hear. He went off track. He needs to give the place back. If he doesn't, I need the time back. Like, whatever it is, however you guys are going to sort it, I'm in front of Max in it. He was saying it like a normal day in the office. See, come at the end of the race, when he was coming up to Stroll and he was getting held up, that's when I heard it. His
Australian accent came out. I've never heard him speak like that before. Yeah. He sounded so Australian. He was vexed, bro. Yeah. Get him out of my way. Yeah. And it was nerves.
Because Max was coming.
Yeah.
So he knows when to worry and when not to worry. And that's the racing maturity of PSG. This is coming through, man. It's coming through.
Back on the thing of teamwork, right? Mm-hmm. I need a friend like Christian Horner, because the way he defends Max, is different level. I don't know if you've seen the pictures going around where there was a press conference with some of the media after the race, and Horner's gone there with printed out photos to show the media, and he's placed them all on the tables of the different angles of where Max looks like he's in front of that corner. And I just need a friend like that, man. I need someone to love me as much as what Horner loves.
I was gonna say that's not a friend. That's your guy. That's the guy you're paying that you need to protect. That's an asset.
That's
different.
That relationship's more than an asset, bro. I'm telling you. That's Horner's baby. Like,
yeah, I'm telling you, bro. It's his asset. It's his everything. It's his everything, boy.
So on that, right? Just that incident again, to bring it back to that. There was a clip after the race, right, before Max gets interviewed, like when he's drinking the water when he comes out the car. And the president of the FIA, MBS, had a quick word with him.
Yeah.
And obviously then after that chat, Max looked a bit vexed. And then he's gone to do his post-race interview, and he's just gone, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't have anything to say about the racing incident. It's
interesting because Max, I expected to be really moody. Like, this is the thing. Max didn't say it. Max was chatty after he won last week. Right, this week he didn't really say much, but he didn't seem angry though.
No, yeah,
he didn't see. He seemed like he just wasn't to say anything.
Yeah,
he kind of laughed. He just laughed.
So, do you think that the FIA told him, yeah, Max, when you go do these interviews, do not mention anything to do with the incident?
I don't know. You know, I think they probably had a word with him about something, and he just doesn't want to talk about it. Like he just knows if he says anything, he's going to be in trouble, because anything that he wants to say is the only thing I don't like is when he comes with some sarky comment, because the thing is, right, put yourself in the opposite in the opposite seat. If you're the interviewer, right, and obviously this is more where I sort of see myself half the time. You've got talent on stage or on, you know, in front of a camera. Your job is to have a chat with them. Now, you might not be trying to get no funky answer, but you just need an answer. When you've got someone like Max, who is the talent, the spotlight is on him, and he gives you some dead answer, or almost takes the mickey out of the situation. Like, why are you mugging me off as an interviewer? I'm just here doing my job, innit? You don't like it when people mug you off when you're doing your job, innit? Like, when you're, you know what I'm saying? Just allow it.
I hear it.
So there's a bit, so you know what? I'd rather he just does what he did, which is just politely say something, didn't answer the question, but just, you know, it was polite at least.
Yeah, fairs. I mean, there's a rumor going around, or a conspiracy theory that the FIA have told him, yeah, you're not allowed to speak about race incidents.
Yeah.
So I guess watch this space, right, and we'll see what happens in the future. Because I just thought it was shocking that Max didn't say anything, because he's usually the first one to. And on the podium as well, he didn't even spray anyone with champagne. He just straight drank it. And then I think he looked at it like, oh, this is non-alcoholic. This is no good.
Oh, how disappointing. We're in Saudi. Of course it is. Yeah, no, I think Max is like, he's just at that point where it's just like, if he's winning, he'll chat. If he's not winning, he's got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Simple as.
I mean, yeah, just don't get in trouble, right? Don't want any more penalties or driver points for swearing. So
this
I hear it, bro, sometimes.
This FIA thing is a little bit, we're still trying to work out where it sits in it. Like, we're still in that place where we're trying to work out how much are they dictating to the drivers, but you can't really dictate to Max. So it's just one of them ones. I think he's just probably just trying to protect himself.
Yeah. And what did you make of Lando after the race? He's like a bit dejected to me, sounds like. What do you make of him?
I mean, I think he's, you know, he was saying things like he's really struggling at the moment. I don't know, man. I think Lando's in a really, really tough position, because he's got into Formula One. He's an amazing driver, but he's not the best. And he's come out, he's done his best, and he's not on the podium, and he's watching the rookie of his team absolutely cleaning the floor. Not do better than him, you know. Absolutely cleaning the floor. He's just wheel to wheel beat Max in it. Something that Lando's not been able to do very easily, or it's been, you know, and at first attempt, Oscar's done it. I think that's what the problem is for Lando. He knows it. And where does that leave Lando? Because it's set up for him.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
true.
not tapping in the tap-ins.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's you know, he's got that mistake that comes out at the absolute moments where you need him to not make a mistake. So I think that's the and he knows it. There's the feeling, man. He needs maybe another year of experience, but I don't know if it changes much.
I hear it. Twitter detectives have found something new
Oh,
about
here we
Lando,
go.
and this is maybe why his mentality might not be, you know, top tier like Oscar.
Go on.
So George posted a picture of George, Lando, I think Pierre was there, and there was one other driver playing paddle.
Oh yeah.
And what's Lando wearing?
Go on.
A Manchester United shirt.
No way.
So I think the mentality of United just runs deep within football, within F1, and
That
just
is
whatever sport you want to
mad.
play. If you're a Man United fan, like, be careful in it. There's something going on
That is
with that. So
mad. That is mad. They're having, it's just like the worst season that they've ever had in the
pretty
history.
much, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, Lando's not having the worst season, but
It's mentally he's not there at the moment,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
yeah.
just needs probably after the triple header's done and he gets a little rest and he could just reflect on everything and kind of reset, hit the spar, reset. Then I think he'll come back strong.
everyone feels a little bit better in Miami though.
That is true,
Miami
man.
does it for you, you know. Miami does it, you know. Like,
Lando loves a party as well, don't he?
the Spanish-speaking capital of
Cuban
unofficial
food.
Hey, listen.
Bit of reggaeton,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what I'm saying, man. It could be pretty lively. I was at Miami a couple of years ago, man. I know it goes off. I know it goes off, and maybe Lando will be back then. Maybe Lando will be back and feeling a little bit stronger.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, countdown to then. We'll catch up maybe just after the race in Miami. But until then, anything to add?
No, I think that's all it. Just looking forward to Miami. It should be lit.
Triple header is done. We can have a break next week. And then we will be back with Race Talk F1. Make sure you're following on absolutely everything. Instagram, TikTok. And we'll be back then. Peace.